Hello. Today is Wednesday, April 17th, 2024. I'm Theodore Parker, and this is a sideshow coming to you from Lexington, Kentucky. The weather today will go up to 76 degrees. We do have a severe weather alert, special weather statement until Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Showers early. Windy, highs in the upper 70s and lows in the low 60s. Rain expected around 6:15 a.m. Look, tornadoes, strong storms pummel Iowa. Expect winds up to 21 miles per hour. And in this area of Kentucky, Lexington, expect Saturday to be the next dry day. Sunrise was at 6:58 a.m. and sunset will be at 8:16 p.m. Pollen is high today, and the air quality index is good at 43. So, if you're watching the sideshow on Facebook and Instagram, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Talk about it on WhatsApp. If you're watching the sideshow on YouTube, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And of course, the sideshow coffee cup. Buy from me for $17 plus shipping and handling. Black 11-ounce ceramic, dishwasher safe, with the sideshow logo on it in white letters. Good for all beverages, hot and cold. Pay me through Cash App, $TR Parker 1. And if you would like to make a monetary donation to the sideshow to help support my efforts here, our efforts, everybody that's involved in front of and behind the screen, the camera, then you may do so through my PayPal account, Theodore Parker at Theodore Parker 902. All donations are accepted and welcomed. Today, Wednesday, April 17th, 2024, leading stories as follows. 2 Kentucky doctors sent to federal prison for urine drug testing scheme. 2 doctors associated with a Kentucky pain clinic were sentenced to federal prison recently for their roles in a urine drug testing scheme. Dr. William Lawrence Seyfert, 70, of Dayton, Ohio, was sentenced to 1.5 years in prison in order to pay $1,968,763.10 in restitution. Dr. Timothy N., E-H-N spelled, 51, of Union, Kentucky, was sentenced to 2.5 years in order to pay $3,773,569.30. Dr. Seffert is the medical director of the Northern Kentucky Center for Pain Relief, located in Florence. Dr. N is the owner and a licensed chiropractor. According to court documents and evidence presented at trial, N and Seffert orchestrated a scheme where clinic staff billed for urine drug tests that were not medically necessary. However, these tests were lucratively reimbursed by taxpayer-funded insurance providers, Medicare and Medicaid. According to the release, the 2 men continued their scheme even as their expensive drug testing machine malfunctioned and was not properly maintained. This caused the machine to produce incorrect results, and many patients falsely tested positive for street drugs like ecstasy, and heroin. Insurance proceeds from urine testing accounted for 3/4 of the clinic's revenue. Report: DJ Wagner makes decision on his future at Kentucky. According to Travis Branham of 24/7 Sports, former 5-star recruit and McDonald's All-American, DJ Wagner will enter the transfer portal. The Camden, New Jersey native averaged 9.9 points and 3.3 assists per game in 2023. Keisha Cole confirms she's dating, I'm not sure about the pronunciation, Hunxexho, Hunxho, blocks people hating on relationship. Please don't beat me up. The love singer is 42, 18 years older than Hunxexho, who's 24. Caitlin Clark offered $5 million by Ice Cube. Gilbert Arenas drops bombshell. Ice Cube's Big Three League faces financial crisis. So, I remember when this first hit, excuse me, hit the news about Ice Cube offering Caitlin Clark $5 million, I think, which would have been 8 games in the Big Three League. And now that Caitlin Clark has entered the draft, been picked by Indiana's Fever in the WNBA, her salary over 4 years will be $338,000. And there is a lot of response to the difference, big difference, between an NBA rookie entering the NBA receiving $10 million for the first year, and the salaries that women receive in the WNBA, and especially that over 4 years. So Ice Cube's offer to Caitlin to come play for $5 million does have some attractions. But Gilbert Arenas is saying that he, from his perspective and understanding of business, doesn't think that Ice Cube is ready to produce the $5 million for her. But as in all things, we'll see. AI was one of the first ones that touched the hood. John Wall says MJ is the GOAT, but Iverson was different. This was a few comments by John Wall. As you know, recently there was a statue unveiled of Allen Iverson in Philadelphia. There were some comments as to the posing of the statue and other things like that. Be that as it may, the honor or tribute, has still been placed. So Allen Iverson is honored in that way, that he is a statue there of him in a basketball pose from one of his games. But the comment by John Wall pertains to Iverson's ability, or how he was able to reach out to people in the neighborhood and his interaction with people in the neighborhood, not only in community activities, but inspiring young players to take a chance at trying to really enter the NBA. And especially with his signature braids, that was an AI trademark. John Wall on Allen Iverson. Owners of Colorado funeral home where 200 decaying bodies were found, now also charged with COVID fraud. The owners of a Colorado funeral home where nearly 200 decaying bodies were found have been hit with additional charges for allegedly blowing more than $800,000 in COVID relief funds on vacations, cosmetic surgery, and cryptocurrency. John and Carrie Hawford already face more than 200 criminal charges for money laundering, forgery, theft, and corpse abuse over the shocking scenes found at Back to Nature Funeral Home in Colorado Springs. Excuse me. Next, I could show you the checks. Jack Taper challenges Donald Trump's lawyers' claim ex-pres did nothing wrong. Jack Taper, host on CNN, asked Trump's lawyer how could he say that he did nothing wrong. As Radar Online previously reported, a grand jury voted to indict Trump on 34 counts of falsifying business documents in March 2023 in connection with a $130,000 payment to the adult film star Stormy Daniels. So the lawyer was presenting the idea that since the payments went to Trump's lawyer, Cohen, at the time, it was not a payment per se to her directly from Trump to Miss Daniels. Points of law have presented the case so that it went forward to trial. Opinion. Some Kentucky fans could have ruined coaching search, but it backfired. This particular article kind of presented things as they were in 2009. Facebook was just getting off the ground. Twitter at that time was like embryonic in its stages. So social media did not have that instant response, real-time reactions to things and events that are going on, not only in sports, but in other things. And the person that wrote this article presently, looks at X, formerly Twitter, and other, social media platforms for comments about basketball games and football games at the college level. So, at the time that John Calipari came to Kentucky, which would have been, okay, I've been in Kentucky a while, so my take on it would have been Gillespie, Tubby Smith, and then John Calipari. So those are the coaches that I've seen, head coaches at University of Kentucky men's basketball. So this journalist, the person that wrote this article, is saying now he can just look at Twitter or X and see what people are commenting. So with Kentucky fans giving and verbalizing their take on how this season went as far as reaching the NCAA tournament, but not going past the first game, they were ready to see a change. So the voice changed, and John Calipari went to Arkansas, and now we have Coach Pope. But Coach Pope is a former Kentucky player from 1996, so that kind of swayed it a little bit. But we'll see how the season goes. Some comments were like, well, there goes the first 20 games. But as I've said before, people are entitled to their opinions, and we will see. Potential number one, but the first 4 picks for head coach declined. So, however prestigious Kentucky may be, those first four people said no. So now we have Coach Pope. Potential number one pick enters NBA draft. Nikola Tobic has decided to put his name into the NBA draft. Agent Misko Raznotovic announced. In a year without a clear number one pick, the 18-year-old Serbian star could be in contention for the first selection. He's ranked fifth in ESPN's latest list of the top 100 prospects and would fill a need for a team looking for a skilled ball handler. So those were the lead stories and just a couple of the top stories and headlines. The Fed may have pumped so much money into the economy that it's now taking longer to cut rates. Excuse me. Kings oust Warriors from play-in advance to face the Pelicans. You may have seen highlights of the Warriors playing the Pelicans, and Zion Williamson coming in for a dunk layup over LeBron James. Said it hit the floor hard on his left wrist. But here, I was reading another article where sports fans, commentators have a tendency to sometimes want to compare players from previous years. Will Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell, certain players with present-day players. And some of them, based on two things: the way they maintain themselves physically and also their basketball IQ, could probably interchange. Like LeBron James at 6'8", I think 260 or so, keeps himself in pretty good condition, has good basketball IQ, could probably fit in, with a Will Chamberlain or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Bill Russell. Because Will Chamberlain is no longer with us, so speaking currently, Bill Russell, Kareem, and coming forward, a few years from there. And then the same, if they were to come to this present era in basketball, would they be able to fit in, dovetail, work with the present teams under the, present system that's in play or in place? So it was a good conversation. And still, when you go to what it is for who's the GOAT, even though, fans, as they say, arguably, Michael Jordan with 6 NBA championships definitely holds that position presently. And players that are still on the floor, have definitely put the stats up. And one of the people that was mentioned was Russell Westbrook. And I do like Russell Westbrook's praise. Seems like it's like zip, and he's from one end of the court to the other, And when he's on, you see a good game from him. So he was another one that was mentioned. So anyway, Kings oust Warriors from play-in, advance to face the Pelicans. Trump allies seize on judge's delayed decision on Barron's graduation. So Trump's son Barron is due to graduate in May. Due to New York state law, the former president has to attend his whole trial and cannot skip it unless he gets permission from the judge to do so. Merchan declined to rule one way or another on the issue of allowing Trump to go to the graduation on Monday. However, he did not fully shoot down granting him the ability to do so. California homeowner shoots home invasion suspect, another dead in Target heist. Talking about shootings, besides the ones that are just going on, I saw this video clip of a homeowner, white man, with the gun drawn on a black female Uber driver. And the story itself, tends, as I often say, to raise eyebrows. Because it seems like, it is the case that the homeowner, the white man, had received calls from somebody that was trying to scam him about, as we are often warned, relatives that need assistance and things of this nature, and money is needed and so forth and so on. But it just so happened that this individual had also contacted Uber and said that there was a package at this address that needed to be picked up. So the Uber driver was a black woman, 61, I think, and the man homeowner was, I want to say 70, but, both of them were not young people. So the video clip shows him with the gun in his hand, and it's not like he's menacing with it, but it's still pointed at her. So he got to arguing with her about, the scam that he had on the phone, and wanted her to tell him who it was that sent her to his door to get the package. And she really don't have no idea, because all Uber drivers, Lyft drivers are dispatched by the company they work for. So she wouldn't be able to tell him who it was that made the arrangement, But anyway, with her backing off his property, he decided to shoot her several times. She was able to get into her vehicle, and in the process of trying to close the door, she hit him on the side of the face, so that there was evidence, of him being hit on his ear and on the side of the face by the car door. But he shot her several times to the point where she died. So people, just don't think of the far-reaching consequences that what they figure is a spur-of-the-moment idea, especially when you're taking advantage of anybody by deceit, which is now under the general category of scamming, what their reaction may be. Okay. USC valedictorian's grad speech is canceled. The university has betrayed me. So there was a picture, of this young woman, and she had on a hijab. So the backlash against Tabassum, who was chosen as valedictorian by a university committee from nearly 100 applicants with GPA of 3.98 or above, was unusual. even at a time of intense campus strife between pro-Palestinian and pro-Israel activists, because it didn't involve anything she said or did. The opposition appeared to stem mostly from a link on her Instagram profile to a website she did not create. Those people who make decisions. That's it. Hashtag